Yeah, Arbys is using white supremacy to sell meat sandwiches.
Another week, another batch of ridiculous TikTok meltdowns. We're going to react to crazy TikToks in this bonus episode of the Brad vs. Everyone podcast, my daily show where we take on the craziest ideas from across the internet, our politics, and our media, all from an independent perspective. Sometimes I do these bonus videos for y'all reacting to insane things from TikTok because you guys are kind of sick and you enjoy watching me suffer. So buckle up, make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button, yada, 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 and get ready to lose some brain cells with me. Up first, we're going to hear from one gentleman who is outraged over another commercial. Move over, Sydney Sweeney. Move over to Dunkin' Donuts. Now, Arbys is in the hot seat for racism, I guess, because they suggested that hot girls eat Arbys. The horror. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, Arbys is using white supremacy to sell meat sandwiches. And if we hadn't been talking about them doing the same thing to, an animated green frog or a jeans ad or, for a fucking donuts, this would sound even more ridiculous than it already sounds. This is the new Hot Girls Eat Arbys campaign. This one's more obscure than the others because they just left it up to us to put lines to it in our head, but they gave us a text on the shirt, Hot Girls Eat Arbys, and a whole campaign of just hot girls eating Arbys. And I put hot in quotes, not because they are not good looking. They are. That's the whole part of the plausible deniability. It is the interjection of this specific type as the ideological look. For Arbys, only hot people wear our jeans and buy our burgers or our drinks. It doesn't even make sense. That would be like McDonald's going, only rich people eat our burgers. Now introducing the Gilded Golden Age burger. Gold flakes baked directly in the buns. Which, genuinely sounds like something they could do next.
Oh my god. Not everything is that deep. Not everything is racism or eugenics or white supremacy. They literally just took some WNBA player and had her sponsor their product and said hot girls eat Arby's. Now the real funny part, or the real critique you could make, is that people like Sophia Cunningham don't eat a lot of Arby's. And that's why they look the way they look. So it's perhaps not the most honest marketing campaign, but of course they're just trying to associate their product with attractive, happy, hot people. And that's, kind of subliminal messaging, marketing 101. But this guy, because it happens to be a hot, blonde, white woman, says it's racism and white supremacy, using that to sell your products. It's like, we got to break out the gold medal for the mental gymnastics going on here, leaping from one level to another to another to another. It's like y'all just want to be victims so bad. You want to see oppression and bigotry behind every possible corner. And it's like, not everything is that. And more importantly, when literally everything is racist all the time and you're constantly stretching to call everything problematic in some way, you might not realize it, but you are very much diluting the significance and meaning of those warnings and of those words so that people start tuning you out. And that is very much what is happening. Y'all have cried racism for so long about every little thing under the sun that now actually racist stuff is flying under the radar and being tolerated in disturbing ways because we can't call it out anymore without people just assuming, oh, here they go again. And people like this guy are just contributing to that problem and making it so much worse. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. Now, guys, up next, we're going to watch a woman on EBT crash out because the Trump administration is limiting some of her benefits. And this is a good one coming up after this. Guys, I've had threats sent to my home before, so I understand better than anyone how important it is to get your personal information off the internet. That's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. If you've ever wondered how spammers get your phone number or why your email inbox is flooded with spam, well, here's why. There are companies called data brokers that sell your data. They do it without your consent, and they make millions selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And while they're illegal legally required to move your information if you ask, they make the process confusing and hard on purpose. That's why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family and friends. They take care of the hard part, automatically removing your information from all of these sites and keeping it off. I use Aura to get my address taken off the internet so it's harder for haters to harass me and to decrease the endless robocalls and spam emails. And you can too. Plus, if anything does happen, Aura includes $5 million in identity theft insurance protection, and they have US fraud experts ready to help 24/7. Try Aura for 14 days for free at aura.com/Polumbo. In those 2 weeks, you'll discover where your data is being sold. I'm not leaving myself vulnerable, and you shouldn't either. Okay, guys, so now we're going to hear from a woman who is on EBT. She's on food stamps and gets food for her family and is now very unhappy at RFK Jr. and the Trump administration's new policies that will not allow the purchase of sugary sodas and desserts and treats with EBT. Take a listen to her vent her frustration and anger, and get ready. Make sure you have tissues nearby in case, you're just brought to tears by her struggle. Take a listen.
I am so dumbfounded right now. There are people that genuinely think that people who use EBT don't deserve soda, candy, or desserts. You're gonna tell me that my daughter doesn't deserve a popsicle? You're gonna tell me I don't deserve to get brownies? You're gonna tell me I can't have Dr. Pepper with my dinner? And all I'm hearing is be grateful, it's free food. Get off of your throne of entitlement and take a look around you guys. Everyone is one bad day away from being homeless or even needing government assistance. Do you guys not see how that makes you look? Your lack of empathy and understanding is outstandingly atrocious.
I'm actually going to crash out. The woman eating at my expense, eating off our dime, did not just call me entitled and you entitled. The audacity. Ma'am, what? Yeah, you should be grateful. You should be thankful for your neighbors paying for you and your family to eat so that you don't have to. And depending on your circumstance, maybe it's warranted, maybe it's not, but you should be grateful. And look, sorry, not sorry, but you're not entitled to dessert and sodas. And if you want it so bad, buy it with your own money, not your neighbors, right? Every time you're feeding yourself with EBT or you're relying on government programs, you are living at your neighbor's expense. And if you're truly falling on hard times or you're legitimately disabled, that's one thing. But then it's about your necessities and the things that you need. And when we have an obesity crisis, especially among kids, especially among low-income people, that is killing people, right? It's leading people to live shorter lives, to early graves. It's causing so many health issues and such strain on our medical system. Yeah, we probably shouldn't be subsidizing that so that you can give your kids brownies and sodas. I mean, it's not illegal for you to do that. You can still do that at your own expense, but I'm not sure we should be encouraging it or subsidizing it. And simply buying you all the food you need, but not extra unhealthy snacks and drinks that you want, is not you being victimized. Like, the audacity and the entitlement here is out of control. I'm actually going to crash out. What do you guys think? When I see this kind of thing online from people posting about the government benefits and then like giving us attitude about it, I don't know, man. It really gets me going. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't. You hit that like button while you're at it. And remember, you can listen to the Brad versus Everyone podcast on audio podcast platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, or wherever you get your podcasts. Up next, we've got a lovely message for Trump supporters that is surely going to convince them to change their ways and come to the Democratic side. Take a listen.
You're not getting it, are you? I'm not rage baiting when I say that all people who support Donald Trump are inferior beings. I'm not rage baiting. I believe you are inferior. I believe you are less than. I truly believe it. Yes, you deserve rights. You deserve the same fucking rights as me. You deserve food, water, shelter, all that. But you and I are not on the same level. You support Donald Trump. Don't fucking speak ever again, bro. Don't stop speaking. No one gives a fuck about your opinion. You have the intellectual capabilities of a worm. You are less than.
Well, he seems really stable and like a really lovely human. Imagine thinking, first off, nobody is evil or less than just because of who they voted for. People are a lot more complicated than that, and they're a lot more multidimensional, and most people are not all good or all bad, and most people do have redeemable traits, even if they're politically, off in the wilderness somewhere. But regardless, imagine thinking anyone was going to see this video and be like, yeah, maybe I should hear Democrats out, actually. Maybe I should reconsider some of my MAGA beliefs. Like, I don't think so many liberal Americans have failed to understand this basic truth that when you insult people and like call them names or call them bigots or whatever, it actually pushes them away from your message and from your side. It makes them less interested in what you have to say. It pushes them deeper and further into the arms of the side that they're already on. It's like literally the opposite of convincing people. And you would think that as the side that claims to champion democracy and all that, even though they really don't in many ways, but as a side that claims to, they would understand the value of persuasion in a free society, in a democratic society, but instead they just want to insult people and scream at them. At least on TikTok, some of them do. But if you ask me, that is not a recipe for success or for winning new converts to their cause anytime soon. Up next, we're going to hear from one lovely woman on TikTok who is claiming that being around white people makes her feel unsafe. Yes, seriously, let's take a listen.
If I'm in a room full of white people, I feel very uncomfortable. Something's wrong. Something is very, very wrong. Especially because, like, I grew up in San Francisco, the Bay Area. Now I live in Sacramento. If there's not black or brown people, bro, this is like a bad event. This is not safe. This is not a safe event. There's not like a person of color. There's not an Asian person there. If there's not a mixed person.
Oh my gosh. Everything about this is giving like woke white savior. She wants to be one of the good ones so bad. The virtue signaling is out of control. But it's actually sad to me that anybody views the world in this. And this is like the most extreme version of progressive identity politics, right? But if you are going into a room and immediately counting up the people of different races and seeing, oh, what proportion is this of races? Does it perfectly match the census? That's actually a mental illness. Like, that's not normal. And it's not progressive or tolerant. And then the idea that white people are unsafe. What? That would be considered a diabolically racist statement in reverse, and for good reason. But also, it's still actually racist to say about white people, and it's objectively not true. I don't understand how deep into an echo chamber or like how deranged or delulu you have to be to find yourself talking like this and sounding like this and not realize that something has gone terribly wrong. Now, what's so hilarious to me about this particular video is she's claiming like, oh, it's unsafe or whatever. She's talking about safety. And yet this same woman on her TikTok feed openly supports violence and murder against rich people. Take a listen to this other clip.
So since there's only 81 American billionaires left, I think we should do like an advent calendar, and then every time we can open up a box and eat like a chocolate. Eat like a little chocolate. I don't know. Make it a mystery box. I would be happy to open the box at any moment.
At FBI? Like, it's actually not normal to celebrate murders or deaths or assassinations. And if you find yourself doing that, you should probably seek therapy or help, because that's sick. That's depraved. Like, we can debate about whether we need to raise taxes on rich people. Let's have that conversation. That's a normal part of political healthy debate. But when you get to the point where you are cheering on people's murder or like counting down their deaths like a holiday calendar, that's sick. That's twisted. You are broken in the head. And the irony, the audacity to do that while also claiming that like random white people are unsafe because of their race. Like, no, ma'am, you're the unsafe. I would actually genuinely consider you unsafe to be around, potentially. because you think murder and killing people is something that is celebratory if that person is a certain level of more successful than you, which is, again, not a normal thing to think or say or do. That's actual probable cause for thinking someone might be unsafe to be around, not the color of their skin. But it's all just so inverted, so twisted, so upside down in this crazy woman's worldview. I mean, in one sense, you want to laugh at it because it is entertaining a little bit how crazy some of these people are, but it's also scary. Have people always been this crazy and now just social media is revealing them? Or is there something about it that's actually causing this? The social media algorithms and ecosystems. I'm genuinely curious. I'm not sure I know the answer to that, but it is remarkable that this is where we are. Yeah. Wow. Here is another bizarre video I came across where a woman explains that Buc-ee's, the gas station / convenience store, like mega chain, is racist, but as a black woman, she still goes there. Try to keep up. Let's listen.
I am currently at Buc-ee's, which has a well-established history, especially in the last few years, of being racist. But why am I stopping at Buc-ee's then? Well, there are a lot of moments in which a company does racist things, and while some people can boycott, everybody can't, especially without safety being a really important factor. Whenever we travel across the country, like we are currently doing, driving back from Atlanta down to Texas, after driving from Texas up to Ohio and a bunch of other states, Buc-ee's is one of the only places where we can safely not only get gas, but also get food that isn't going to make you sick. If you have never driven through rural America, if you're not somebody who's experienced in general whenever it comes to driving cross country, you may not realize how hard it is, especially in certain places, to get somewhere where you can use a clean, safe restroom and where you can buy food that isn't going to make you sick, especially whenever you have a disability. So as much as we absolutely hate the things that Buc-ee's has done in the past few years, it's one of the only places that we can still reliably go. This same thing happens when we talk about places like Walmart and sometimes even Target. People condemn other people for using certain services that may, again, have been racist or currently are engaging in active racism. But a lot of times there are people that do not have a choice because they don't have other options. I live in a place where Walmart and Kroger are going to be two of the only grocery store options that you have. You cannot go out of your way to find somewhere else because not only may you be disabled or financially limited, but the distance could also make you unsafe.
Am I the only one who feels like we live in different realities at this point? Like, I genuinely have no idea what she's talking about how Buc-ee's or Target or Walmart or all these companies are racist. Like, I Googled it, and Buc-ee's was apparently sued once about a specific incident where racism was alleged, and they denied it. But, like, does the fact that one, even if you assume it's true, that one employee was racist once to one group of people, make a company like inherently racist and bad forever? I don't think so, especially when it has so many employees and locations and is just one instance doesn't necessarily define a company. In the same way, Target is absolutely not racist. All she's referencing there is that they rolled back a lot of their over-the-top DEI programs where they were specially prioritizing and favoring Black-owned brands and businesses. They still, of course, employ and sell to and work with people of all colors equally and in complete accordance with federal law and aren't racist at all. So a lot of this is just like hallucinated. And then what is she talking about when she says, you know, when you have to drive halfway across the country, there's not that many places to stop and use a clean bathroom or eat food that won't make you sick? Hey, am I crazy? Or is that just literally not true? Like, I've driven across the country a number of times, and there's usually a lot of rest stops with big restaurant and bathroom and gas station combo stations that have acceptable places to go to the bathroom. And I mean, not like the healthiest or I guess best for you food imaginable, but perfectly edible food that's not that dissimilar from what you would find at a Buc-ee's. I find a lot of these people, especially on TikTok, live in these bizarre alternate realities that you almost feel like you are visiting another planet or like observing an alien species when you just observe them and see the things that they assume as like the base facts for their analysis are like just not true and not real. I don't know how we reconcile this where parts of America are just increasingly living in totally different realities, where we can't even agree on the basic facts of what life is like or what's happening around us. That's gonna work out great, guys. Everything is fine. Everything is going amazing. I can't be the only one that gets really concerned sometimes watching these TikTok videos and reacting to these deranged and delusional people. You let me know if you feel that way when we do this on the show, or if you just find it entertaining. Let me know in the comments. I do take the time to read the comments. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't yet. Do hit that like button while you're at it. Remember, you can also listen to the Brad vs. Everyone podcast on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to audio podcasts. And with that, guys, we'll leave it there for today, and we'll talk again real soon.